I swear every day I just feel like I'm getting punched in the face. Every single day. It's madness. It's absolutely madness, people. Spurs are getting relegated. None of this delusion, hopium and copium anymore. Like, after last night, I swear I broke. I broke after last night. After the weekend, oh my days. West Ham win 4-0. Nottingham Forest gain a point. And you're thinking, well, I was thinking, Leeds are the ones that we're going to catch. I was saying that all week. Leeds are the ones that we're going to catch. Leeds bloody go to Old Trafford, play them off the park and win. It's just like every single thing is going against us.
So it just took you 24 hours to break. Yesterday, you
after that Leeds game, mate, I had to break, mate. Like, seriously, Leeds were the team I was clinging on to. And they go to Old Trafford and win.
26 points.
Oh, my days.
26 points. If you're deluded enough to think about it yesterday, what's changed?
Well, yesterday it was 2 points. Still 2 points, but West Ham won 4-0.
They won 4-0 yesterday.
Friday.
I know, but I'm saying yesterday they'd also won 4-0.
I know. But even yesterday I was resigned pretty much.
You said you were full on deluded.
I'm trying, man.
So you're now deluded again. You just flipped from
I'm
2 seconds ago.
I'm trying. I said I'm trying. I want to be. I want to have the hope. I want to have... I don't know, man.
It's all conspiring against Tottenham this season. No, we're not getting anything in our favour.
Literally everything. At some point, something's got to go for us. Like, nothing's gone for us for 6 months or for so long. We haven't won a game in over 100 days. We haven't won in 2026. We got referees making bullshit calls week in, week out. And everyone around us is picking up points.
And injuries left, right and centre. We've just lost our captain, our best attacker for the whole season.
Yeah. It's just like, when is it going to end?
The death of the football club will be confirmed at the end of the season. That'll be it.
It might be before then. It might be before then. At the rate this is going, we're going to be relegated like 3-4 games to go.
Then it'll end. And we can rest.
you think we'll be able to rest whilst we're in the Championship? There'll be no rest. There'll be no rest whatsoever. Like, how are Spurs going to the Championship? How have we let it get this bad? We've been over it so many times, but I still can't fathom it. I can't. It's just mad.
You know, people still come up to me, and rival fans, where they go like, I still think you'll get out of it. Yeah,
I know.
I still think you'll be all right. I'm like, what are you on about? These guys have no idea. They have no clue. They don't know what Tottenham is.
It's because they see the results. They don't see the games. That's what it is.
They don't see what the real what Tottenham is right now. You know, they've taken a snapshot of our last 14 games, and we have I think the same amount of points as Derby did in their first 14 games of their season. They're the worst ever season in the Premier League.
That is how mad it is.
That's how bad we are.
We are literally on par with one of the worst Premier League teams. Well, the worst ever Premier League side. It's just like, fuck my life, man. Seriously.
And it gets to a point where you're looking at what we need and what's required, and you're looking at our form. We need probably 3 wins in the next 6 games.
I saw a tweet from Stan Collymore yesterday, and he was like, yeah, Spurs probably need about 3 wins to stay up from now to the end of the season. In brackets, he says, not impossible. I was like, what are you talking about? We haven't won. In how long?
14 games.
And he's saying 3 wins out of the last 6 games, not impossible.
We've won 2 in 23. 2 in 23 games we've won. And now we need to win 3 in our next 6.
I just want to read this tweet again because it just actually wound me up, this Stan Collymore. This was like straight after the Leeds game as well. Here it is. I'm calling 42 points to be absolutely safe, with 40 the base to be confident. That would mean Spurs having to win 4 of their last 6 games. And in brackets, he goes, possible, of course, to reach the high limit of 50% of their matches to get to 39 points, because Spurs have undoubted quality. I'm calling 42. Get there ASAP and you're safe. Anything below it and you're chancing it. It's like, what's he on about?
Someone in the comments, Sammy, says 3 wins. We can't even get 3 shots on target.
Exactly.
Are we going to get 3 shots on target in the last 6 games, let alone 3 wins? We are. This situation is so dire. It seems helpless. It seems like just completely helpless. Like there's no way out of it. That's what it seems at the moment. When you're looking at the other teams around us, I think we're giving the other teams hope as well. They're gaining confidence from our misfortune every week. I think Leeds, the way they saw how we're failing, gave them that little bit of the pressure's off them a bit. They don't have to go there and scrape a draw. They can go there and play their game. And they went and played United off the park super confidently, end up winning the game 2-0. Could have been more. Like, they were brilliant, Leeds. And like,
but those two teams, Leeds and West Ham, have just had their best performances in a while this weekend.
Yeah, people talk about how bad our players, whatever, but they signed Calvert-Lewin on a free. You know, what kind of meltdown would there have been in this fan base if we signed Calvert-Lewin on a free?
Yeah.
They've signed Okafor on loan. I know he's a good player, but
we turned our noses up at it.
We didn't want Okafor. They have like Brendan Aronson, who everyone says he's rubbish. So they signed Sean Longstaff from Newcastle. What kind of meltdown would there have been in this fan base if we signed Sean Longstaff to play in our centre midfield? They have Joe Rodon, who we binned off because he was rubbish. and he's starting for them, Joe Rodon. We use Joe Rodon as an example of how this club and how bad our recruitment is, because we went for Rodon over whoever his name was, Skriniar. And we use him as like, he's one of the main examples of how badly this club is run. And yet he's starting centre-back for Leeds, right? So when we talk about Tottenham and the players that we have and whatever, and the players around us, teams around us, you look at that Leeds team, no one would want any of their players, yet they're performing a lot better than us. And their club has a cohesion, a togetherness about them. They have a plan, and we are aimless. We have all the players in the dressing room pulling in different directions. We have no unity. We have a hierarchy that is absolutely clueless and doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't know what direction to go, and doesn't know how to run a successful football club. They've got absolutely no clue what they're doing. They have a manager in Farke who was one game away from the sack, and he managed to turn it around. That is an example of how a team could be more than the sum of its parts. If you look at the individuals that Leeds have, people were rightly calling them favourites for the drop. They were saying they don't have the quality to stay in the division. And if you look at their individuals, there's a good case for it. But that is how you can make a team better than some of its parts. And you look at Tottenham, we have players who start for big international teams, who've played on big stages, who've also played in this division to a high standard, and yet look how bad we're performing. Look how bad the results are. And that's not because of the quality of player. It's not even because of the manager. It's because the whole club from the top is run in such a terrible way, in such incompetence. The incompetence boggles the mind from top to bottom at this football club. And now we're sitting here, Leeds are 6 points clear of us now. A team that one of the teams we were aiming for, potentially, to drag into the relegation zone, are 6 points away, and they play Wolves before we play Brighton next weekend. If they beat Wolves at home, that's 9 points, which is quite likely, I would say, that they beat Wolves. That is their 9 points before we even play Brighton. And at that point, they're out of the fight. They're safe. I mean, how are Leeds, a team who got promoted last season from the Championship, are probably a win away from being safe already against us?
It's embarrassing.
Absolutely embarrassing.
I think there's only one little thing that we can cling on to give us a tiny bit of hope, is that Roberto De Zerbi gets into these guys over the next couple of games and we see something, in the last 3 or 4 games. That's the only thing that we can cling on to, literally. Because I think those last 3 games could be the decisive games. Leeds at home and Everton at home. I think if we can get those 2 wins in the last 3 games, then I think we give ourselves a chance. But it might not be enough. That's the reality. So we need to see something sooner rather than later. But I still think this will go down to the wire, whatever happens.
I bloody hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it goes down to the wire because, as you say, right now we're getting dragged further and further away. We're getting dragged further and further away. Already there's a little gap now. Incredible. 2 points away from 17th place West Ham. A team when we played them in January, when we lost to them, we were 13 points clear of them. And now they've gained 15 points on us. 15. How nuts is that? They've gained 15 points. That's how bad our form has been. The numbers are staggering. You can't quite believe them. You look at them and you just can't quite believe it, how bad the form actually is and how much of a dire situation we are actually in. I think it's taken a lot of probably rival fans to come to the conclusion now that, okay, Tottenham really might be going down. The reality is, we've been saying this for a while. Everything is pointing to Tottenham going down.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's no logical explanation to say that Spurs can stay up, judging on what we've seen. There's nothing. Especially when you're looking at the games played over the last few weeks, like West Ham 4-0 over the weekend, Leeds going to Old Trafford and winning, Forest even getting a point against Aston Villa is significant. You know what I mean?
Result, yeah.
Every single team around us got picked up points this week, and 2 of them winning. It's just it just gets worse and worse every single week. And every single week you're thinking, all right, this is going to be the week that someone saves us, someone steps up, something happens to give us that little bit of hope. And it just gets worse. We just lose even more hope as each game progresses. And it's just so hard to take. It really is.
And how are we going to get out of this without Romero, without Kudus?
It's not about individuals. It's not about individuals because, like you said, Leeds are doing it with Joe Roden, Noah Okafor, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I'll take them right now.
Yeah, of course you take them right now, but Kevin Danso gets in their team.
Does he?
Yeah, of course he does.
I'm not certain about
Why
that.
not?
You think he's better than Roden?
Yeah, I do.
Think he is.
Well, I don't understand. Kevin Danso has been probably our best defender this season.
He's just average. He's just an average. I don't have anything
And
against
Joe
him.
Roden's not average?
He's all right. Roden's all right. He's been quite good for them.
Come on, man. Danso's a good player.
He's not a top 10 Premier League player.
We don't need him to be a top 10 Premier League player. We need him to be a survival player, a player that can keep us up. I don't think he's not a top 10 player. I think he's pretty good. And I think he's one of the players that has actually stayed consistent. And we need someone to stay consistent for these last 6 games. That's what we need. We need someone to do their job, keep their mentality, and actually perform for the team. We don't need any erratic behaviour.
We need someone to save us.
Yeah, that as well.
That's what we need. It is, I think, at the end of the day, we need someone to step up and be the difference. And we have no one. Richarlison was that for Everton, and he has probably been the only one looking likely to score for Tottenham at the moment.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is just a mess. We don't know what to do with ourselves. We don't know whether now we're in a relegation battle, should we be playing a certain brand of football to keep us up? We've got De Zerbi now. He's going to be playing a certain brand of football himself. Is De Zerbi himself making compromises with his football to try and just get us out of the mire in the short term? But is him making compromises going to get us out? Because we have been it seems as though we're making compromises all season in some of the football we've been playing, and it hasn't helped. Mm-hmm. It hasn't changed anything. Do we need to just fully buy into something one way or another to get us out of the situation? Just fully go pragmatic or fully go all out to Zerbi ball and just, go extreme, because this middle of the road stuff has led to us in the wilderness. We don't know what we're doing. There's a split in fans and maybe even inside the club. Like, what do we need to actually get out of the situation? Is it about back to basics, 2 banks of 4, and just try and shithouse your way out of it, just with passion and hard work? Is it we need to let the shackles off and give these players more of a platform to create chances and score goals, and maybe risk conceding, but with the hope that we score because we're conceding anyway? We don't know what we want because we've never been in this situation.
The thing is, I really think it's all a nonsense when we're talking about tactics, formation, all this kind of stuff.
It's not though, because every team has a plan.
But none of the tactic. We've changed tactics so many times, and nothing is helping us. It's the fundamentals that is letting us down week in, week out. It's the mentality and the confidence that is letting us down week in, week out. That is what's letting us down.
In the Premier League in 2026,
I get that.
Is very tactical. Everyone has well drilled. They all have good plans. Passion and mentality isn't enough. You need a good game plan.
But you need mentality and confidence and passion first and foremost. You need to see players that are willing to die for each other on the pitch. You need to see players that don't lay down and lose their shit and lose their cool after you concede one goal. And that is what we're seeing every week. And if you see that, even if you have the best tactics in the world, if you see that, you're still going to lose.
It's both. But I think for the whole season, we've had no game plan, or the game plan's been awful. And it's led to these players losing a lot of belief and confidence in the club and and maybe themselves. And now we know we got De Zerbi in, who we know can coach a very good game plan, but that might take time, especially given how long during this season we've had the football that we've played. And when you're coming up against all these teams now in the Premier League, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to compete in the Premier League nowadays with the quality of teams, the recruitment everyone has, and how analytical every team is. That's the reality. And we're suffering from that massively. I'm pretty sure all of our players individually could go to any of those teams around us or above us and do well. But collectively, it's a problem because of how we have run this club and also how we have been set up the whole season.
That's fine, but all I'm saying is that if you don't have those fundamentals and if you don't have the ethic, the team ethic, that you want to fight for each other, instead of Moani going on his mazy runs by himself, the sheer teamwork and confidence to stay in a game and grit to stay in a game, the tactics are not going to make any sort of difference. Because you're going to lie flat on your face. You concede a goal, we'll end up losing the game.
I just think it's an easy cop-out to say.
It's not an easy cop-out, it's reality.
No, it is, because this grit, how do you determine that? How do you see that? You think you see it if we get a result, then we had it. If we didn't get a result, we didn't have it. That's essentially what it is.
Well, not really, because you can...
It is.
You need to see... We're not seeing... You're seeing every single time we concede a goal.
Against Liverpool, did we have grit and determination?
Yeah, we did.
Exactly, because we got the result.
It's probably because Van de Ven and Romero, the two players that walked off the pitch crying, weren't playing.
No, it's because we got the result. That's why we had it. And the other games, we didn't get the results, we didn't have it. I think for me, it's not about whether the players care or not. Obviously, there are a lot of question marks there, but it's not just about that. I think it's a lot of it.
And we got the result not playing any sort of tactical way where we should be playing. We played 4-4-2. We didn't play attacking football. We just had grit that game. We actually turned up. One game in the last 6 months, playing Dragoshin and Danso at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not about personnel. It's about fighting tooth and nail and not laying down. In most other games, we've just laid down. Like in that game against Sunderland, after 1-0, the game was done. Like, we had no answer to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool wasn't like that. Because we showed grit and determination. We showed the fundamentals in that game. No other game we have.
I just think people analyse that kind of stuff, whether we had it or not, based on whether we got the result or not. And if we got the result, then we had it, and we didn't get the result, we didn't have it. That's essentially what it boils down to, in my opinion, when people analyse that kind of stuff. That's what I think. And I think definitely it comes into it in the Sunderland game. You can see they lost their way in the last half an hour. I think we were playing a pretty organised way of playing for about an hour. Then once we conceded, our heads were fully gone.
Exactly.
Our heads fully went. 100%. I agree with that. You can see it on the pitch. But I'm just saying, I think it's mostly about how we play, not just these intangibles that you can't really measure. I think these players are trying. I think they do. They don't want to go down. I think the weight of the pressure of us in this position is weighing on them very, very heavily, 100%. But I also think trying to implement this De Zerbi ball with 6 games to go, it's going to be a tall order. It's going to be near impossible to do it to a standard where it's going to get the results that we need, which is like 3 or 4 wins, potentially. I don't think passion's going to be enough to get us 3 wins.
Yeah, look, you might be right, but passion is better than what we're showing right now. Organisation, being able to keep that organisation through the course of 90 minutes. Like, that performance up until the 60th minute, it wasn't the disaster everyone was saying. It wasn't great. It wasn't good, but it wasn't a disaster. It's not like we deserve to be 3-0 down or anything like that we've seen in many games. The organisation was there, but then it all went out the window when we conceded. Everything. Everyone started panicking.
Agreed. Yeah, we started panicking.
We need players to keep their cool and stop panicking.
Didn't stick to the plan.